Moin Moin and welcome to Ralfs Foto-Bude. Some days ago I presented to you the new Sony CyberShot DSC-RX10. That's a bridge camera with an 8x zoom and an aperture of 2.8. It goes from 24mm up to 200mm. The basics I showed you in my review, but today I will give you some more details of the RX10, some tips and tricks how to work with the camera. The video is good for photographers who own the camera and want to know a little bit more about the camera, some tricks, and also for customers who want to buy the Sony and to want to go a little bit deeper into the menus and into the options of the RX10. So let's start with the display options. On the side you have the button with the display sign. When you press this one, you will see the display change. You have the 3D level meter and you get different display options. The same options you have for the electronic viewfinder, and you can set them up. So if there are too many display settings you have, you can change it. So let's go to the setting menu, and here in the setting menu you have the disp button, and if you go to the disp button you will find in the menu the option between the monitor and the finder. So let's go to the monitor, and here we have the different options. We have the graphic display, display all info, no display info, the histogram, the level meter, and the options where you see all the informations which is set up at the camera in the moment. If you choose the options you want, press the enter button, and here we are, all the settings you have. Now go to the menu again, display button and the finder. Here we have, except of one display options, the same, and you can choose them like pressing the OK button, and you see we have the histogram, we have level meter, graphic display, display all info and no display info. If you're ready, press the enter button, and as soon as you look through the viewfinder and press the display button, you will see that you have the different options in the display. The next point are the function buttons. We have two of them. We have one function button here on the back side of the camera and one custom button on top of the camera. It's with the C, that's the custom button. Both of them you can individualize by pressing the menu button, and then you go to the point function menu setting and custom key setting. Custom key setting is the one on top, function menu is the button here on the back side. Let's have a first look of the function button, how this one works, because it's not only one function you can set up, but there are lots of functions. If you press the button, you have two rows here on the monitor, one upper row and one lower row, and both rows have 6 options you can choose from. So if you want to change one of the options, just go to the point you want to go, like here the image size, and if you want to change the image size, you can just turn the dial here and you can change between the different settings. Press OK and that's it. If you want to change the aspect ratio, just do it in the same way, turn the dial and you can change between the different settings. Other way, press the OK button in the middle and you can make the settings here at the side. It's exactly the same way, but you go out of the function button. If you use this way, you're just in the function button and can make some more settings here in the quick menu or function menu. To change the settings, as I said before, press the menu button and then we go to the function menu setting, press OK, and you have the 6 upper functions and you have the 6 lower functions. And there you can set up each function individually like you wanted. I have the image size, aspect ratio, quality, focus area is one very important, because that's one point I'm going to show you later, how to change the focus area in the autofocus options. Then you have the ISO, ND filter, metering mode, white balance, dynamic range optimization or auto HDR, creative style, peaking level, and picture effects. These are my settings I use usually. Next point is the custom button on top of the camera, custom key setting. Here in this function you not only have the C button on top of the camera, that's the point here, custom button, I use it for the ND filter, but also you have the settings for the control wheel. The control wheel is this one here at the back side of the camera. You have the AEL button, that's the one here, and you have the custom button as I said before, and you have the center button, this one, and the left, right, and last but not least, the down button. So you can make the settings as you like. One thing is very important, you should use the center button in standard. Why? I will show you later, because it's for the autofocus area to move the autofocus point. That's very important that the center button is on standard. If you want to change the control wheel, because you don't want to use it for the ISO setting, because you can go to the control wheel accidentally and change the ISO setting, just use something else like creative style or picture effect. That's it. Here we are. I show you what happens. You turn the dial at the back side, and here we have the different settings for the color effects. Okay, press the left button and you have the creative styles, press the right button and you have the aspect ratio, press the down button and you have the different settings for the grid line. Last but not least, the C button on top. If you press the C button, you get into the ND filter. You can choose between ND off, ND on, and ND auto. So these are the different settings of the function button, wheel, and the top custom button. Next point are the different focus methods. On the front of the camera we have a lever where you can change between S for single autofocus, C for continuous autofocus, DMF, that's a mixture of autofocus and manual focus, and MF, that's the manual focus. Single focus you should use for still life or for pictures where where nothing moves, which like portraits or stuff like that. C you should use for scenes where a child is running, dog is running, or cars are moving or stuff like that. Action photography, that's the deal for C continuous, because the camera continuously autofocusing on the scene and holds the subject every time in focus, or all the time in focus. So let's look what we have for different focus methods in S and C. You can do this one in the menu. If you go to the menu, you have the different settings here. We are focus area here. That's the setting, focus area. If you press focus area, you have the 3 different settings. First setting is the wide setting, where you use almost the complete monitor or the complete sensor for the autofocus. Then we have the center, where you use only the center area for autofocusing. And last but not least, you have the flexible spot. And as you see here, always when you see a small arrow on one of the signs here on the side of the screen, you can change between different settings at this point by pressing the four-way button, so you can change here between L for large, M for medium, and S for small. So these are the three types of the flexible spot. And how this will work, I will show you now. I need just a little picture here because it's a little bit easier to show with a picture just in front of the camera. Okay, so here we are. So if you use the white and press the shutter release button for focusing, you will see the camera focus on the most important parts in the scene, and you will see where the camera focus with the green areas here. That's the sign for focusing of the camera. To change between the different settings, it's very useful to put this on the FN button, because now if you press the FN button, you will have the focus area here, and now you just can turn the dial and go to the next one. That's the center autofocus. And now we will see what happens. You press it and you see you have the green area in the middle, which is in focus, and the camera shows you that the autofocus works perfect, and it's only in the center of the camera. Next and last point is the spot. The spot area, or the flexible spot. And as I said before, you have three sizes. You see them here, S, M, and L. You can go to the different sizes, and you see here is the autofocus area. That's the small size, and if you put it like here on the eye and press the shutter release button, you see it's perfect and it's fine. If you want to move this point, usually you have to press the FN button again, go here, press the OK button, and then you see the autofocus point in orange, and now you can move it. But that's a little bit difficult because you have to press the button once, twice, and so it's much easier to put this one on the center button of the dial. And that's why I said before, put standard on this one, because if you put it on standard and press the button, you see you immediately get the orange autofocus field, and you can move the autofocus field on a place you want to have it, like the nose here of the right dog. Just put it here and press the shutter release button a little bit, and that's it, perfect. You have the focus directly on the nose. So important, put the center button to standard, so you can move the autofocus point very fast in the scene. Here on the eye, press the button, and here we are. So these are the three different methods for autofocusing, and the flexible spot in three different sizes. As I said before, put this one on standard so you can move the autofocus point very fast on the point you want to have it. Okay, so next point is manual focusing. Just go to the manual focusing. And in the manual focusing we have different options. First of all, we have the option that when you turn the focus dial, that's the one here in front of the camera, the front dial in front of the aperture ring, the camera automatically goes in the magnification. You see we have the 8.6 magnification. Here we are, 8.6 magnification. If you press the middle button here, you go to the 17.1 magnification. So you can toggle between 17.1. Just turn the dial here. Sorry, just turn the dial, and you can toggle between 8.6 and 17.1. If you want to move the focus field, just press the four-way button here, and you see that the autofocus field moves in the scene. So the focus field for the magnification moves, so you can put it right where you want it. If you work from a tripod and make a macro photography or stuff like that, so you can move your focus field exactly on the point you want it, go to the 17.1 magnification and you will see immediately when the picture is sharp. Two things are very important. First of all, you have to switch on the manual focus assist. That's the one here. The manual focus assist gives you the magnification just when you turn the focus dial. Next point is the focus magnification time. You can set it between 2 and 5 seconds or no limit. I would suggest to put it to 5 seconds. Next very important point, that's the peaking. You have the peaking level here from low, mid to high. I set it now to mid. And next one, you have the peaking color, and the peaking color goes from red, yellow to white. I put it now on red because there we will see the contrast to the green picture very good. So what happens if you turn the ring, the focus ring on the lens? You will see immediately if you get a I move the point a little bit because here we have some more contrast. Here we are. If you turn the ring, you will see the scale here down, meter or feet. You can change between meter and feet. In Germany we have meter, so excuse me, it's still on meter. And now if you turn, you will see how the focus point moves downwards to 0.1 meter, and if the picture is sharp, you will see the peaking in the picture with the red area. Here we are with the red area, and now the picture is absolutely sharp and in focus. So that's the manual focus with the peaking function. And as I said before, it's I would suggest to put the peaking function to one of the FN button fields, because yeah, the peaking function is nice, but sometimes it's a little bit boring to see all the red in the picture, and so it's very useful to put it here on one of the function button areas, because so you can switch off the peaking functions very fast, and you can see the picture in whole without the peaking, and just put it again on to like low or something like this. So that's very useful too. Next point, what I said before, DMF, that's a combination of autofocus and manual focus. If you turn the DMF, you go to the scene, just press the shutter release and the camera focus on the point, and when the camera has focused, you have the option to turn the focus ring, and you're in the magnification, and you can adjust the focus a little bit. So if you have like macro photography and you have scenes where the depth of field is very, very low, to get exactly the sharpest point, you can use this one. But one thing is, you have to hold the shutter release all the time. So if you press the shutter release, you have to press the shutter release while you're focusing on the ring. I lost the shutter release and now it's gone. You can turn, but nothing will happen. Only if you press the shutter release you get in the magnification. And the next point, to press the shutter release, I show you, press the shutter release and put the push the back button for the different magnification sizes, 8.6 or 70.1. It's very, very difficult. I think it's not really useful, and Sony should do this a little bit easier and not so hand crumpling. For me, for my big hand, it's very difficult to hold the camera like this. So DMF is, for me, it's not a real option. I would rather work in autofocus or in manual focus. Next point, we have on top of the camera, we have the two settings, that's 1 and 2. So on these two settings we can save different camera settings to call them immediately and very fast just by turning the dial to the option 1 or 2. And how this works, I will show you. Just go to the program you want. Let's go to the program P, and then you make all the settings you want. So just go to the menu and you can make the different settings here. You can go to the image size. Maybe you want to take pictures only for your TV screen, so you can use the small image size. Aspect ratio would be 16:9, quality extra fine. Next point maybe is the ND filter. You put the ND filter to off. White balance auto is perfect. Creative style, you want to go to deep. Next point is the picture effect. Yes, you want the toy normal picture effect. And again, as I said before, if there's the small arrow, you can change between different settings of this point just by pressing the right or left button at the four-way dial. Okay, so we have the toy camera normal. Yeah, and that's it. That's enough. And now what we do now is we press the menu button and we go to the point memory, and we can choose between memory 1 and memory 2. So just press memory 2 and here we are. We have the settings on memory 2. To show you how this works, maybe you're in A, and let's change the image size to 17, aspect ratio to 1:1. Okay, here we are. And if you turn now the dial to 2, you will see here we are. We have program P, we have 16:9, 4.2 megapixel, we have deep, and we have toy normal. So that's very easy to change between different settings. You can make a black and white setting or a portrait setting or something like this, and so you can change very fast between these two settings, 1 and 2. So that's very easy to change when you made up your setup before. Next point is the video option of the RX10. The video is in full HD resolution, and one thing is very important. Doesn't matter if you live in America or in Europe. Please, first point of all, change the TV format PAL from PAL to NTSC. I'll show you why you should go to NTSC, because if you're going to NTSC, you have the higher resolution in the AVCHD mode. He says running on NTSC. That's a little bit, it's a warning when you turn on your camera. Press OK, and now we can go to the video menu, and you will see that we are, here we go, here's the video menu, and we have the file format AVCHD or MP4. These are the two options. MP4 is for tablet computers or older computers, because it's a little bit easier to work with the MP4. If you have a new computer, advanced computer, just use the AVCHD format. Next point is the recording setting, and as I said before, here we have the 60p, but the 60p we have only if we go to NTSC. If you use PAL format, you only have 50p. Here are all the options you can choose from. 60i with 24 megabits per second, 60i with 17 megabits, and the highest resolution is 60p with 28 megapixel per second, megabit per second, sorry. And these are the lower 24p and 24 megabits and 17 megabits. So these are the settings for the video mode. And you can change between the different settings. Just turn the dial to the video mode, and if you're in the video mode, you will see we have the microphone level here, and we have different settings here in the lower part of the display. So let's press the menu button, and if you press the menu button, you will find the movie point here, and here in the movie point you can change the different program modes. So you can change, like in the normal photography mode, you can change between program auto, you can change between aperture priority, shutter priority, and manual exposure. So you have completely manual working in the video mode. You don't have to use only the program mode. And if you're in the manual mode, just turn the aperture ring here at the camera to change the aperture. You see we have here the scale, and if I turn the dial, you see we go up to like 2.8, and by turning the dial here at the back side, you can change the shutter speed. You'll see 250s and so on. So that's very easy to change the different settings. It's exactly the same way you do it when you take pictures. There's no difference between photography and video mode. And you also can set the different picture settings. That's exactly the same way like you do it in photography. One last point, or one of my last points, that's the panorama mode. If you go to the panorama mode, you have also different directions from which you can choose. You see this arrow. If the arrow points in the right direction, you have to turn the camera this way when you make the panorama mode, and by turning the top dial here, you can change between the 4 directions. You may ask for what is down and up. That's very easy. You should not go down and up for the panorama mode, but turn the camera in this direction, and you can shoot in the portrait mode. This is real good because you get real big pictures. You get real big panorama pictures with lots of megapixels, so you can make real large prints from this high resolution panorama pictures. One point, you can choose between the different panorama settings. Just go into the shooting menu, and here we have the setting for the panorama size. You have the wide and the standard. You see wide is a little bit more. I'm not quite sure how many degrees it's exactly, and standard is a little bit less. And the next point is the panorama direction, but as I showed you before, it's easier to turn the top dial on the back side of the camera to change between the different directions. One point, if you use the scene mode, you can change between the different scene modes just by turning the top dial. You see we have here the different logos like sport, landscape, sunset, moon, and so on. If you're not quite sure what the logo means, just go into the menu, and in the menu you will find the point scene selection. Sorry, one too far. Here, scene selection, just press OK, and you will have the different scenes and a small explanation which give you a hint which is the correct scene selection for you in the special situation you have. So these are the different scene settings. What else can I show you? We have what I said before. Just go to P. I go to the normal size back. Oh, sorry, here we are. to the 3x2 size back. What we else have is the, I showed you a little bit before, is the picture effect. We have here the different settings, and again, watch for the small arrows here, because the small arrows give you a hint that there is something more. In this case, we have the partial color red, and if you press the button, you will see we come to green, blue, yellow, red, and so on. So it's good to look at the small arrows. So there we have more options in the picture effect. So okay, let's turn off the picture effects. Yeah, I think these are the most important points of the RX10 to learn a little bit more about the camera. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my tips and tricks video to the Sony DSC-RX10, and I hope it gives you a little bit more information to learn to work with the camera, some tips for the autofocus setting and for the video settings. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video. Go to my Flickr account, because there on my Flickr account you will see lots of pictures taken with the RX10. So ISO rows, they compare the ISO quality of the RX10. In the next days you will see some more YouTube videos here on my channel, so I would appreciate if you come back, and if you like the video, please give me a like and subscribe to my video channel. It's always worth to come back here on Ralfs Foto-Bude. Thanks for watching me, have a nice day, and till now I say, as always, moin moin.